Now student, we have to perform titration of Mohr salt solution against KMnO4, that is potassium permanganate solution. Now by using M/10 Mohr salt solution, that is molarity of the Mohr salt solution is M/10. By using this solution, we are going to determine the molarity of KMnO4 solution. So we are going to perform the titration of KMnO4 solution against M/10 FAS solution or Mohr salt solution. This is redox titration. So the reaction taking place in the titration is the redox reaction. Now there are two reactions, one is reduction, another is oxidation. In reduction reaction, permanganate ion is gaining 5 electron and getting converted into Mn2 plus ion. Now here in MnO4 minus ion, permanganate ion, the oxidation number of Mn is plus 7. By accepting 5 electron, the oxidation number is changing to Mn2 plus ion. So the reduction process is taking place as there is a decrease in the oxidation number is taking place. Again, the oxidation process is taking place with the Fe2 plus ion, that is ferrous ion, losing 1 electron, getting converted into Ap3 plus ion. Now when there is a redox reaction, there will be equal number of electron loss and gain during the process. Therefore, here only 1 electron lost by the Fe3 plus ion. So in order to balance the number of electron, I am going to multiply the oxidation reaction equation with 5. Therefore, 5 electron loss and 5 electron gain. The number of electron loss and gain become equal. Now, by multiplying this oxidation equation by 5, we are getting the MnO4 minus plus 5 electron plus 8H plus gives Mn2 plus 4H2O. As here 4 oxygen atoms are present, we need 8H plus ion should be present, which are given by the acidic medium provided during the titration. Because this titration also requires presence of acid, and in the acidic medium the reaction is taking place. So this 8H plus comes from the acid. So 4 oxygen atom and 8H plus, that is hydrogen atom, will be producing the 4 water molecule. Now I have multiplied oxidation reaction by 5. Therefore, here the oxidation reaction is 5 Fe2 plus gives 5 Fe3 plus 5 electron. Now the electron number in oxidation and reduction is equal. So we are cancelling it out, and the balanced redox reaction is MnO4 minus plus 8H plus 5 Fe2 plus gives 5 Fe3 plus Mn2 plus 4H2O. In this way, we are getting the balanced redox reaction for this titration. Now let us see how we are going to perform the titration process. Now students, we know that we have to fill this burette up to 0 marking, and here the upper meniscus should be there. The solution is not colorless solution. If it is a colorless solution, then we are going to check lower meniscus. But the solution is not colorless, so we are going to check it with the upper meniscus. Now in this conical flask, I have taken 10 ml of ferrous ammonium sulfate solution, which I have transferred in this beaker. Now this solution is colorless, so we are going to check the lower meniscus in the pipette. You already know that in the pipette there is also one marking. This marking is there indicating the 10 ml amount, and lower meniscus we have to check when we are pipetting out this solution. Already I have pipetted out this solution. Now before starting the titration, we have to transfer 1.5 test tube of H2SO4 solution in this conical flask, because this titration also needs acidic medium. So 1.5 test tube is added of sulfuric acid to this conical flask. Now the content of the conical flask is Mohr salt solution 10 ml and 1.5 test tube of the dilute H2SO4 solution. Now when we are doing titration, Please check that there is no air bubble in this portion of the burette. So that if air bubble is there, your answer will be wrong. Secondly, you have to check that there should not be funnel. When you are using this funnel for filling up of the KMnO4 solution, it should be also removed during the titration process. Now as the air bubble is removed, we are going to add drop by drop this solution into this conical flask. You already performed this oxalic acid titration. You already know this oxalic acid titration. In the oxalic acid titration, we are going to add H2SO4 and then heating the content of the conical flask. But in case of Mohr salt solution, there is no need of heating the content of the conical flask because this reaction is taking place at room temperature. So when elevated temperature is needed, that time only we are doing the heating process. But when we are carrying out titration at room temperature, no need of heating the content of the conical flask. Also take care when you are adding the drop by drop solution of KMnO4 into the conical flask, that directly enter into the conical flask, not to the walls of the conical flask. Because if it is touching to the walls of the conical flask, your reading may be wrong. So that take care, your drop of the KMnO4 solution should be added into the conical flask solution only. And we have to add drop by drop solution so that our reading will be right. Otherwise, your reading may exceed the solution color. We need that at the end of the titration should be light pink and it will go to the dark pink color, then your reading will be wrong. So that we have to take care about the adding solution of KMnO4 carefully. Also take care that you will not remove your conical flask from the tip of the burette, because if any single drop is falling down, then there will be change in the reading. Keep your conical flask as it is and add drop by drops KMnO4 solution. Shake the content of the conical flask after adding the drops. Now you can see the change in the color. This change in the color is light pink, right? In this way you are getting the correct color change in the conical flask. If you are doing the proper way of titration, then your reading will be also correct. Now here you can find that upper meniscus is touching to the line which is the 8th line of the after 9, right? So here the reading is 9.8. You can get the reading that is equal to 9.8, right? In this way we have got our burette reading. Now the next part is doing the calculation part. So after getting burette reading, we are going to do the calculation of this titration. For that purpose, our formula is A1 M1 V1 is equal to A2 M2 V2. Now here this A1 and A2 indicate the activity, and this activity is nothing but the number of electron lost and gained. So KMnO4 is gaining 5 electron, so that the value of A1 I have taken as 5. We don't know the molarity of the KMnO4 solution, so M1 I have taken as it is, and V1, that is our constant burette or concordant burette reading. This concordant burette reading you will get when you repeat your titration for 2 times or 3 times. Whatever process I have done over here, that is giving you the first reading. Now the second and third reading, again when you are going to repeat this procedure, you will get the second and third reading. But you have to take care about that. Your reading should not exceed the first reading. Either it should match with your first reading, or it should be plus minus 0.1 ml of the first reading. Right? It should not exceed too much. That 0.2, 0.5 ml difference will not be entertained for getting the concordant burette reading. Now we are going to check for the ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. So A2, M2, V2 indicating ferrous ammonium sulfate activity, molarity and volume. So activity of ferrous ammonium sulfate, that is the number of electron lost in this oxidation process. So here you will find that only 1 electron is lost. Therefore, the activity of FAS we are going to write as 1. So A2 value is 1. Then ferrous ammonium sulfate solution, the molarity given to you, that is M by 10, that is 1 upon 10 is equal to 0.1 ml, 0.1 molar, and this volume, that is whatever you have pipetted out the solution, that pipetted out solution is having volume 10 ml. So value of V2 will be 10. In this way, for KMnO4, you are getting 5 into M1 into CBr is equal to 1 into 0.1 into 10. Now concordant burette reading will be differing from student to student, person to person, because it is depending upon your personal skills. So whatever your concordant burette reading will be there, that you are going to take the values. Now to determine M1, the formula will become 1 into 0.1 into 10 upon 5 into concordant burette reading. After doing this calculation, whatever value you will get as an answer, that will be suppose X molar. That is the molarity of the KMnO4 solution. Now using this molarity, we can able to calculate the strength in gram per liter of KMnO4 solution. The formula for determining the gram per liter strength of the KMnO4 solution is molarity multiplied by the molar mass of KMnO4 solution. Molar mass of KMnO4 solution is 158, and whatever molarity we have got over here, that value we are going to place, and so it is X molar, so X multiplied by 158 is equal to Y gram per liter. So here the strength of the KMnO4 solution is Y gram per liter. In this way you are going to do the calculation.